Hi, the Wheel of Time fans. Welcome to Tori Talks with Dr. S. I'm Tori. This is Dr. S. We are going to discuss the Wheel of Time Season 2, Episode 5, which is called Damani, which apparently means, let me know if I got this right, a woman who can channel that has been leased.
Oh.
Leased.
Okay. Can I
too.
tell you something funny about that title? Because I didn't know how to pronounce it. And when I was watching it with my family last night, we were like, Daman? And then my son goes, I'll be the man. You know the Taylor Swift song?
No.
About I'll be the man. And it's all about how, like, if she was a man, she could get away with all these things. And later, by the end of the episode, I was like, how fitting was that?
I probably didn't even pronounce it right. Maybe it is that.
I don't think so. We were guessing, but...
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's kind of funny. I was cracking up at the end. I was like, hey, that actually worked.
It does. It does. Okay, well, let's begin in Falm with Ishamael and Lady Sarath. So, Lady Sarath is in trouble with Lord Turok because she invaded a village without his permission. These people are so stupid.
So, this whole thing really was fascinating to me because I kind of felt bad for her.
Oh.
And she's terrible, I know. But, like, okay, hear me out, right? Ishi got credit for delivering the horn of Valere, and she got scolded. And, like, when she had to, like... Did you laugh, though? The whole tone of her, like...
Just, like...
Bending down, and she, like, puts her nails, and they cut them with the sword.
It looked ridiculous.
I had to laugh. I was like, what's the tone supposed to be here? It was ridiculous. It was funny? So absurd over the top that I had to laugh. And then she just kind of became a human. Like, we saw her face.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what happened in that moment, but it's not like I like her now, but I felt bad for her? I felt like, what is this crazy situation? And then Ishi just presents the horn, like, hey, but look what we got you. But you just punished Lady Sarath for going into that village.
Yeah.
But that's how she got the horn. That's how they got the horn. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just saw, like, a power struggle here between Ishamael and Lady Sarath and Lord Turok, which he seems like he might be in charge, but Ishamael knows exactly what he's doing. In fact, when Ishamael tells her to kneel, you know, and then the Lord kind of looks over at him like, what power do you have over her? Like,
he doesn't know who that is.
Who are
like,
you?
Why do you matter? Why does the High Lord, what's his name? High Lord?
Lord Turok.
Why does he know who Ishi is? And why does he just, because that wasn't explained.
No.
Right?
No.
And he just like, oh, I give you this when Ishi couldn't have done it without her and her people.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, but this is
I don't know.
The dark one, you know?
Yeah. I was even more mad about the whole situation because, you know, it's her. I mean, okay, although they are terrible, they also look like super cool, except for the mouth, the leashing thing. I don't approve of that.
I don't like that.
But other than that, they're pretty, like, badass cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And then I just don't know if there is some type of, like, that tension just made me feel a little bit more like that, like, moral ambiguity. Like, more like they're all bad, but then some are more bad than others.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all think they're good. Because then Ishi, I think it's around that time where maybe it's later in the episode, but he says, like, he's the only one who truly believes in the dark. Because only by stopping the wheel will he end suffering. Yeah, so he's looking out for people to not suffer. You're causing a lot of suffering in the meantime.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
How'd you feel about seeing Padan freaking Fain again?
Every time I hear that whistle, it triggers, like...
And that little confident swagger he has. And by the way, there's the horn.
Yeah, I saw, it's there, it's real.
It is real?
Yeah.
How about that box, though? I would like to gift somebody something in that box to turn the wheels to open.
I was mesmerized at. Also, how did High Lord know, like, that he would just do that and then it would, like, swirl open? Is that in the legend?
How does
in the
he
lore?
know things?
Yeah. I thought that was cool, too.
How powerful is this man?
I know. If he's, like, so we already know that the Seanchan are very powerful. Yeah. And then he was in charge of Lady Sarath, so that means... Like, if she was like, okay, I'll just kneel and you can cut my fingernails off, then he must be very powerful.
Well, yeah, and she's super intense and wants to take him out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's weird. I don't understand.
But Ishamael kind of has to reel her in and remind her that he knows why she took the oaths, you know, for the dark. Mm-hmm. Why did you do
Why?
that?
Exactly. Because I'm all about the why now, right?
Why?
Because it's all about the why. That's why I still don't get Padan Fain. Like, who is he and why? What is he? Who is he? We just know that he's kind of creepy.
I don't know.
He's whistling.
He's so cool, though.
He's everywhere.
I mean, gosh, that actor's so good. I mean, I don't even know what he's supposed to be like, but it doesn't matter. He's fun to watch. Ishamael says something to her about desperation opens the mind to more interesting choices. Because I'm slightly obsessed with Liandrin, I just thought of her.
Yeah.
And how she is making desperate moves to, I think, save her.
I noted I noted that as well, because that is really what it, like, things that people wouldn't do, but once they're desperate, because he does say that. He says that about Moiraine, right? Like,
yes, that's who he's speaking of. Yeah.
Lanfear says, like, why did you even let her live?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, something like a dead Aes Sedai, like, he calls her like a dead Aes Sedai because she has no power, right? But since that opens the mind to more interesting choices, maybe he's thinking she'll be so desperate that she'll make the choice.
Right.
Imagine if Moiraine made the choice.
No, she's not going to.
But you know, all the viewers are telling us why she's so empty, because she doesn't have access to the one power anymore. Like, I mean, we see the desperation, right? Like that feeling of like, once you have access to it and you don't anymore, like, will you make that choice?
Is it foreshadowing?
Is that possible?
No.
You never know, because now people are saying it could be anyone. And some people are saying that, like, they read all the books, and then at the end, like, people came out as dark friends. I don't know if coming out is the right word. Get revealed to be.
Well, let's discuss Moiraine a little bit further, and her and Rand, and how they're on the run from Lanfear. And, okay, she's crazy. We already knew that.
Lanfear's crazy. Yeah.
Well, Moraine's crazy in her own way. But yeah, so she disintegrates a man's head. She sews a woman's mouth shut.
With just like, boop, boop, okay.
So easy. I think through this, she maybe realized, or gave Moiraine a little more credit than she thought, you know, because she's like, wow, clever, or ruthless. You know, I think she's figuring out who she's dealing with.
She was not just, she's not an amateur.
No, you're dealing with. Anyway, so Rand and Moiraine, they decide to hang out at her sister's house to just kind of devise a plan. But Rand cannot fall asleep because somebody can invade his dreams. Anybody's dreams, really. So
did he not know that Moiraine didn't have power until that moment when he said, like, can't you keep me awake? Was that her revealing to him that she couldn't? I think so. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Yeah. Do you want to tell us? You can definitely tell us. So we meet her nephew, Barthanas, who's about to marry a queen. Do we need to know that? Yeah, who's that? What queen of who? Of what? Galdrian. I mean, yeah, so of what? I don't know. I guess I need to study the map. So yeah, like, they throw these things out there, and since there are no throwaways per you and everybody I talk to. Right. So is this a big deal? Why did we meet him? And why do we need to know that he's getting married to this queen? And is this queen related to, like, the queen who would be, like, the parent of Elaine queen? No, right? I don't know. How many queens are we dealing with? I just don't know, like, the real, like, geopolitics of the land. I know we're supposed to study the map, but there's only so much I can do. I'm not good with geography. Period. All right, well, Moraine's sister reminds her of some very good advice that she gave her once, and it was basically, like, ask yourself, is this true, right? So, do you really need to protect Rand? I thought that was so profound. Are you going to start using that now? It was in therapy, right? Like, just be like, is that really true? Yeah. It's like countering the negative thoughts. Yes. Right? Like, oh, but is that really true? Or is that a story that you tell yourself? Just telling yourself that? Yeah. That was really good. Which narrative is true? So Moiraine realizes that if Lanfear wanted to kill Rand, then she would have done it a long time ago. And then he kind of was like, yeah, there was something there, but okay. He basically is the dragon reincarnated, right? So she's in love with him. Which we guessed that. You said that. Yes. The part where I was not correct is that she's not the reincarnation of, like, his wife. Right. What we learned is that she was before the wife, and he, like, left her. Leaving Lanfear for the wife. So it sounded like... Makes you evil. It sounded also to, like, go back to Lanfear talking to Ishi, that Ishi's like, oh, I'm pure dark. I understand. I actually believe in the dark, whereas Lanfear doesn't, right? Because that's what you're saying. That's what he said. So then why... So, and then he says, because I know what you want. And then it cuts right to them looking at Rand. Yes. Right? So she's driven by love and lust or passion or all that stuff. Yes. Yes. And apparently all the other Forsakens are kind of incompetent. Because they mention a few, which I assume are the other Forsakens, because Ishi's like, oh, the Dark One only talks to me. Because I am so special. Because I am a true believer.
Right. By the way, that actor is amazing.
So
His
good.
name's Ferris, I think. I remember last season I called him the lead singer of System of a Down.
But without that beard, he's very handsome.
I mean,
I saw some pictures.
Even with it, I'm fine. But I had to stop calling him that. Sorry. That's so rude. Okay, so they have to bait her, basically, in the dream. And then Moiraine's like, just let me know. I'll see if you need me, and then I'll wake you up. So... like I was saying, she realizes that, I think so, it's the dragon, reborn.
Yeah.
So this is her love. But she says something like, oh yeah, I have to remember that he's still so young. She says that, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So she was in love with the dragon before. Now she's still in love with the dragon, just he's reincarnated.
And, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and she's asking, like, how does he compare to the other one?
Yes. Right?
And she's like, oh, well, he's softer. Like, okay. Like, softer, like, willed.
Yeah.
Right? And then also, he doesn't, he's, like, not all about his power. Like, something like, he doesn't take pride in his birthright, which is being the dragon. Right. And he's afraid of his power. Yeah. Yeah. But the other dragon, so obviously the other dragon was young. Not. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know.
It's got some growing up to do. But basically, it ends with him, in his dream, being... strapped to a wheel. Of course, you gotta have a wheel in there. And then she's sitting there looking gorgeous as ever and devious and nefarious and is like, finally.
Yes.
Oh, that's how that
was good.
Such a great way to end that.
And that her dramatic, like, hair.
Yeah.
Thing.
She's gorgeous.
She's cool looking.
All right, let's talk about Perrin, who visits the White Tower to figure out why 3 novices are just... they're missing.
She's one of my favorite characters right now because she's out for the truth, right? She's brown, she's brown Aja, right? So she's like the scholar, like the seeker of knowledge. So she's like, nope, not. I worry about her though, because if you're so obvious about all that research, are people gonna, you know?
She's pretty bold
too. She's not secret sleuth. She's
super
like
brazen.
She's like interrogating.
Yes, so. You know. Who we should be suspicious of is the mistress of novices, Sheriam. She was acting suspicious when she's like, how would you not know that they were signed out? Oh, yeah. Weird. Yeah. Is she incompetent?
But then they say that she was compelled.
Under compulsion. Yes. Now, was she?
But because of the handwriting being all sketchy.
Yeah, they said a slight tremor was in the notation.
And so Aes Sedai, like, one of the oaths they take, I think, is to not use the power against other Aes Sedai, right? But then obviously Liandrin's already broken her oath, so she could definitely have put a compulsion spell or whatever on her.
I think that's
to sign her out, right?
Probably it, but for some reason, that's probably
she was sketchy before that, though. Before that, I was like, I don't know. Are you also a dark friend? Yeah, but then I did buy that argument about the compulsion. But remember, now I'm
suspicious of everybody.
I know.
Guys, this keeps me up at night.
Yes.
All right, Liandrin. She takes our girls, Nynaeve, Egwene, and Elaine, through the ways to deliver them to Ishamael, but she's gonna have to settle for Lady Serath. And they do not like each other.
This was such a great sequence.
It really was. So, okay, Liandrin doesn't like the way she treats the women who can channel.
Right.
Right. So she's thinking she's going to meet Ishamael. But so before she leaves the girls, she like unties them. Yeah. And so they have to deal with that. Them getting loose or whatever. But did you notice anything about this scene? Maybe when Egwene gets because Egwene doesn't, she doesn't get away, right? And she's being wrapped by that one girl with looks like an apple. It's not an apple, I know, but it's this gold ball in her mouth. I thought, hear me out, did that girl have tears in her eyes?
The girl with she felt bad.
I mean, they did zoom in on her, and then you see Egwene look up at her. So I know they're being slaves used to right?
This whole
use their powers. Yeah.
I did not notice that, but that's
maybe
interesting.
Not. But why would they close up on her face? Like her looking at her.
Well, there's something about that girl, right? Because now that we know what the leashes are, I mean, they have different types of leashes, right? Because I don't know. They don't have the mouth thing.
Yeah, right.
But then we saw the leash put on Egwene later.
Right.
So I don't really know, like, if there's levels of leashdom.
I was thinking the same thing, because why does this younger looking girl have that in her mouth? Yeah. Maybe after a while they can take that out of her mouth and she can talk and have a voice, right?
Yeah. Maybe they're like against their will doing these things. So they don't want to hurt. Yeah. So maybe she doesn't want to hurt Egwene.
I think she feels bad, and I think she's one of the newer ones because she's
younger.
Yeah, and she has that in her mouth, right?
Interesting. Well, all this whole thing fascinated me because, like, obviously we're mad at Liandrin, right? Because she's doing this to our girls.
But also my favorite character.
Exactly.
It's
so then
so hard.
at the same time, she's like saying, hey, what you do to these girls is an abomination. So basically she's like a feminist. And she's like, you guys, you shouldn't do this. And so I gotta be on her side.
I have remorse for her.
Right.
I have remorse for her and her just trying to save her boy, I think.
Yeah, exactly. We like understanding her motivation.
It's
and
complicated.
she talks about that. Like there's some things that like she rationalized it in this, like it was like
kind of did.
Our theory was true. She did it for her son. And like what she wanted could not be accomplished in this turning. So she had to do what she had to do because she's a mom.
She's a mom.
Like I don't know, but I don't know like if someone offered me that option because to save my child, I don't know what you wouldn't do to save your child. Like,
so can you really blame her?
I right? And then she, before walking back through the ways, she makes that comment to Lady Saroth about they're like fighting over who like is gonna be like alongside the Dark One at the end or something. And then Liandrin's like, well, I'll remind you when you kneel to me if you make it that long. And then as she walks through, she does the little secret releasing. So my husband, your brother, cute viewers can't help but like just share a little information. I told him you're not supposed to tell me stuff because we're supposed to like talk raw. But he was like, but I just have to tell you something that's different in the books versus the show. Liandrin did not do that little release them thing in the books.
But that was like an FU to her, right? Like, you gotta catch them first.
The conversation, he said, did happen where like the whole like you're like she doesn't believe in the leashing and all that stuff, but like letting them go to like
that was
be free.
Just in the
I mean maybe it was just to move it faster. I don't know, but I love the little smile that she gave before she walked through. Like okay,
I love her in so many ways.
And I think Liandrin must think that they have a chance, right? Because she says to Lady Saroth, like, if you make it that long, and then she releases them as if like they're gonna like get you.
She also said to Nynaeve when they were in the ways, every woman has her price, a burden she can no longer carry. So again, you just like feel how heavy this is on her, and it's just that she has to. It's not even a choice anymore, I feel like. So I do have a lot of remorse for her. So Nynaeve and Elaine do escape, and then they get knocked out again. Can people stop knocking them out? But it turns out it's a Yellow Aja and her warder, and they're like, people are looking for you. Can you like be cool?
Lay low, people. You gotta disguise yourselves.
Oh my gosh, these girls. All right, shall we move on to Perrin, my love?
Yes.
Who I'm now, like, I have the biggest crush on him now. What the heck? He just grew up a little bit. Anyway, he looks like a man. Okay, so once he realizes that they're not going to Falm, like where his friends are, he's like, I'm out, I gotta go. But Hopper stays with him, right? Is that Wolf Hopper?
I think so.
Okay, he never says it, but I'm assuming it would be. I
assume so too.
Hopper. So he ends up in a village that is hosting the Whitecloaks. Oh, God. They're back. Okay,
Not just any Whitecloaks, too. Our favorite, Child
Valda.
Which we knew he wasn't dead, obviously.
Creepy bird eating, blood dripping down your face, weirdo.
I was so afraid that when he heard Perrin rustling up above that he was going to get him again. I was like, I'm not ready for that. I need more time for them to actually, confront each other.
Yeah. Well, hey, new favorite character alert.
Yeah.
Avienda.
Dang.
Okay, so she's an Aiel, and all I saw was like Rand's mother with the whole garb and everything, and the way they have the dance or whatever. Yes. It was so cool.
Perrin, do you like to dance?
Oh,
that was so cool.
That was a beautiful sequence. Yes, it is like a dance.
It is.
Anyway, so they do escape, but they spare the life of Dane Bornhald. Now, who is he?
So he's related to, like, his dad is somebody.
Yes, because Aemon Valda says, the day will come that your father's name will not save you.
Yeah.
But he seems like such a nice man.
Yeah, he gave water.
Yes.
So that decision is going to turn out to be important.
For sure.
Yeah, but in a good way or a bad way? Because I'm afraid.
I don't know, because I kind of liked him, even though he's a white cloak, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But they did spare his life, and then they have a talk about, basically, so she's now loyal to Perrin. Good, we got another ally.
So they'll be together for a long time.
Together?
Like, together.
There was some little teasing going on. Yeah, well, she's searching for the Chief of Chiefs.
Well, she said she would do it if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Basically. Isn't that what she said?
She's like, not that I'm opposed to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was like, whatever.
I don't know. The chief of chiefs is called Kara Karn, and that's what she's searching for. But now I think she's like, yeah, whatever. Let's road trip together, and hopefully I'll find it along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also want to know, when Perrin went to that inn, he said, who was here before? So it's Mrs. Amudi, who followed a caravan that took her granddaughter. Who is she, and why would you throw that out there?
Yeah,
that's got to be something.
I was wondering about that too. Granddaughter, is it that little girl? Right.
That's all I thought of
Me
course.
too.
Yeah. So, but they
Amudi.
Why would you have to?
And the caravan, like the Tinkers travel in a caravan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because again, why would you ask that? Why do we have that in there? Why do we need to know about this person?
Yeah, that's not random. There's nothing random anymore.
Nothing random anymore. All right. Something I forgot to talk about with Ishamael and my nephews, your children, brought this up before this taping, is what did he mean by the Matt scenario?
Yes, because he said something about all of our people.
He did.
Yes, so
but Matt
but
was
about
his...
Matt, who was born his.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Literally or figuratively?
So he was born with dark?
Right.
Like the darkness has always been within him?
Right? Or is he just so easy to get that it's like, I had him a long time ago. But you can't just say that.
Right.
And not have us analyze it.
Here's my thing with everyone, right? So everyone says things are not supposed to be, or they're going to be a certain way because this is how it is, right? So like, for example, Nynaeve wasn't supposed to channel inside the arches, but she did because she's special, right?
Okay.
So then Matt, he's born that way, dark. So no, I feel like even if he was, he's going to fight it. Just like how Moiraine said, if he touches the dagger again, we'll be losing to the dark forever. I don't think so because they're special.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even, all right, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but how everyone is saying that the dragon, like a male channeler, they always go mad. I just feel like Rand's not gonna.
He's not gonna go
because
mad.
he's special. These people are not normal.
They're making a story about these people for a reason.
Right.
Because they're the special ones.
Right. So I feel like he is gonna have to do something amazing with the power, and he's not gonna go crazy.
I feel like Rand is a diet version of the dragon. Like I think it's just we need to see him evolve more because he's just a little right
he's
now.
He's gonna accidentally do it right.
Yeah. Poor Rand. I'm sorry. Yeah. And we didn't see any Matt. But the viewers have told us that he did kind of play a backseat role.
Yeah.
In some of the
it's okay.
books,
yeah.
So.
And he will be important.
Yes. Absolutely. Gosh, can you believe these people? The people that are commenting?
Amazing.
Our friends? Can I officially call you my friend? Because you are so loving.
I love it. I know.
Gosh.
I know.
I mean, where have they been all my life?
Reading books.
Yeah, right. And we were not. But that's okay because we wouldn't have this and this dynamic. And we love it so much. So I guess that will wrap up episode 5 of The Wheel of Time. Please keep the comments coming. They're the best. And then like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.